Greetings everyone, welcome back to Top Tier Arcade. My name is Steve, and we're back in the apartment. In this part 4, which is Memories, we're going to be checking out the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles LE by Stern, and the memories I have on it. Now, I know what you're saying. How do you have memories on a game that came out October 2020, Steve? Here's why. Before I get into it, as customary, I always smoke a cigar anytime I get a game. And as part of my video series, there's parts 1 to 5. Sometimes it's redundant, but that's the way I have my format. And for continuity, I am going to be lighting up, having a drink, and talking about the memories and the why. And the whys, this is in my collection, because there's more than one. So I'm smoking a Calixto López Exquisitos. Probably said that very wrong. If you're curious why the band is like this, in Canada, which is stupid, they have a plain wrapper around the original, a plain band around the original band, because they think this is going to somehow deter cigar smokers when they're in the humidor to be like, oh, this is ugly, I'm not going to smoke anymore. Canadian government, right? So anyways, I'm going to be smoking this. I'm going to be drinking Appleton Jamaican White Rum. My Jamaican, one of my best friends actually got me this when he was in Jamaica. And it's really smooth, and it's super early in the morning. You'd be surprised how early it is. But we're going to be having a drink as well, so let's get right into it. So, when I first started Pinball, if you don't know my channel, there's 4 grails I wanted. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Day to East, Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, and Robo-War. Now, I have 3 out of 4 of those now, so you might be wondering then why this Turtles, but you already have the Day to East, which is right there. Well, here's what happened. When I got into the hobby in 2012 and I started collecting, I started also getting pinball machines, in 2015, sounds right. And the Day to East needed work, the Turtles. And again, Adriano, who's a buddy of ours, who's an artist, clear coated the playfield. I made it almost perfect. I will be probably getting a new ramp for it because now they make them, which is sick. Replace a few plastics, and I have to rubber everything because they're worn out. And I'm going to be doing that one day when I set them up. Now, when Rumor was the next game, this was early 2020-ish, around near when COVID started. There was rumors that the next Stern game was going to be a new Turtles. Now, normally, I'd be like, come on, what the hell? But because they're making so many original Day to East titles, GNR, Turtles, yada yada, Batman, I'm like, uh-oh. Now, you might be like, well, why uh-oh, Steve? Because you love Turtles, don't you? I do. I mean, yeah, I'm wearing a shirt. I do, but not as much as people think, ironically. I loved it when I was a kid. Now, if it was a Thundercats pin, Super LE first in line, I'll pay 50 grand any day. But until that happens, we'll see. So when this was a rumor, I was actually reluctant to be happy. Because a lot of my pinball guys were like, but Steve, aren't you happy? You're the Turtles guy in the group. And because you're the only one that we know has it. And now because it's such a shit game, even though right now it's selling for 6 grand US, but whatever. Mind you, everything kind of is. But either way, I actually like the game. I think it's great. Cool, cool call-outs and everything else. And it's pretty easy. This is the Day to East one. But anyway, so when it was rumored, I was secretly like, uh-oh, no, please, no, I don't want to get, I have to get it. Because now I'm obligated because I'm the Turtles guy. And because I liked the original one, it was my first pin, I would have some sort of loyalty to sticking with Turtles because it's the updated version, which we all know how deep the new games have been in the last maybe around 6 to 7 years. And this was a problematic situation because, one, I have no room already, not that it stopped me, and also the funds, because the new games now, especially with COVID inflation, is so expensive compared to how it used to be. So unless something goes down or the economy changes and the world turns, which I'm sure it probably will to some degree, we don't know what the future holds. New people coming in, a lot of people are being priced out. We'll see. When it was official, I was concerned because I'm like, oh shit, what am I going to get? Now, truth be told, I'm a collector before I'm a player, and I'm a player before I'm a rules guy. Like, I couldn't care less I think it's great, but there's so many rules and the ins and outs that even though I appreciate them, I like it more. I'm a collector guy. I like having stuff. And when it was announced officially, I was concerned because not only am I a collector, despite the LE not being worth it, I love LEs. If I'm gonna get a pin, it's gonna be always LE, unless there's a very specific reason why. So for instance, if there is artwork or something that a game comes out that I have an affinity to or some sort of reasoning, I would get that one. But usually if I'm going to buy, I'm buying LE top of the line. And I knew this was the case for this game. Like, oh shit, now what? As the months progressed, and you know, it was a deep game, and Dwight Sullivan was explaining the rules, and I'm like, okay, it's a board game, it's going to be fast and whatnot. I'm like, okay, it's going to be a while until I get it, because if I do get it, it's going to be the most expensive game in my collection at the moment. And right now, when I look at different versions of what top tier will eventually be, will it be a reduced arcade based on my space, or if something happens drastically and I get the huge basement that we all dream of, maybe I'll have a bigger library of games. So TMNT Stern LE was always the one at the very end where if I had to condense my collection, this would be the newest and last game I would get until again something drastic happens, both in my life and in my finances. Eddie bought this game from a friend of ours at a great price. And Eddie knew that this I should have been really my game, because everyone knew that this was pretty much a wrap for me. Now, a lot of behind the scenes, some a little drama, some a little exaggeration, some a lot of emotion, especially now you add COVID to the mix and everyone's opinion on it. When it came due for me to get the game, and Eddie swore by his word he'll give it to me at the price, he was a man of his word, and I'll always respect him for that. A lot of shit in between happened, whatever, but I ended up getting the game. I'm proud to have it. I can't wait to get into it more. And that's really why I wanted to get it. I kind of had to. There's an instinctual, you already have the original, you're kind of known as the Turtles guy. It's a game that, you know, people now, at first, maybe don't really like, which I weirdly like. The more people hate a game, the more I like it. Because you know why? You're like, oh, Steve, you're just a contrarian. You go against the grain. Yeah. Because one day, they're going to say, oh, this is brilliant. Circus Voltaire, Stranger Things, Game of Thrones. It's all bad until it's good. This game is imperative that I had to get it. One, it was principle. And two, it gave me a boundary. Where if I know that what home I eventually end up buying, what my limit is. And because my EM Atlantis, my Gottlieb Atlantis EM, is the beginning part of the book, it almost becomes a bookend where I know, here's my first pin, that's going to be on the left, and this is going to be my pin on the right, and then everything in between is based on how much I can afford in the room we have. Because really, money we can always find. I won't even eat for a fucking month if I'm going to have to afford a game, and I've done it, believe me. And I've lost 56 pounds last year in 4 months, and now I have to cut again because I got a little COVID lazy. But there's a lot, well, they cut the gym. I wasn't allowed at the gym. So now I have my bookends, and I know what to do and what my goals are. So this is why it's imperative to have an almost end vision, where if the worst case scenario was to happen, which is not a worst case, because we're very spoiled if you have these games anyways, based on people's affordability and what's going on in the world when people can't eat. So these are first world problems 100%. And sometimes I lose the vision and I lose the motivation because of all the other crap that comes with this hobby, which is becoming annoying. And I'm not saying I'm no angel either. I'm very opinionated. So this is why it had to be, and this is the memories of the game where it was an actual bad memory because I didn't want it, because I knew that deep down this would be my final game if I can't afford more, or I would have to sacrifice a game I already liked in order to get this. So huge part of my collection, beyond what you see. it's cool to be modern because I like a lot of the 90s games and whatever else as well. And it's something that I really can't wait to get into. And it's one of those themes also that, again, I think I said in the game review last video, where it's universal theme. Kids like it, parents remember it. They might think it's too kiddie, especially with the artwork being a little more Nickelodeon and more geared towards younger demographic, but it fits. I don't want to ramble. That's why it's in my collection. It's beyond just picking a game up because I like the rules. There is an inert vision that you don't know what's here, that I'm seeing, that had to be there. I thank Eddie for honoring his word and giving me the deal. I still owe him dinner, and I know he's going to buy expensive because he's Italian. I already know. I want the wine. I already know. I already know what he's going to do. He's going to get mad. But look, it's been a pleasure. This is one of my favorite parts of the videos because it's easy and it's kind of bullshit. You know, what am I really talking about? But I like it because it's easy and it's fun, and that's why I'm actually in the hobby. And again, I'm starting to lose the reasoning. So I really like these videos for that reason. So with that being said, thanks again for watching. If you want to leave any comments below about the game, about anything, let me know. Please subscribe on more coming out. The game part 5 and the final part of the 5-part series always goes to the gameplay. So we're going to be setting it up using the rules that we've learned last video and now trying to incorporate them into the gameplay. It has been always a pleasure, and thank you for checking out Top Tier. Peace.